welcome to my channel. My name is Julie. Most people call me JulieJo, some call me JJ, some call me JulieJo. You have so many options. You're welcome. JK, I didn't name myself. Thank you, Mom and Dad. Anyway, I'm happy that you're here. My name is JulieJo, and today we're going to be talking about a little company called Arbonne. We're going to be talking about it because I was in Arbonne, and I will go over that story. If you are wondering why I have a sloth background that's pink and slothy, it's because I teach little children, and they seem to like that kind of thing. And if you hear any snoring, barking, growling, anything of the sort, I have 3 dogs and 2 of them are underneath you. Let's start by talking about the history of the company. It's weird to talk about a company without knowing anything about it. Why was Arbonne even created? But really, why? Okay, let's keep going. It was founded in Orem, Utah. Orem? I don't know. In Utah. What is going on in Utah? I feel like all MLMs are founded in Utah and started in Utah. Well, I mean, if you know anything about MLMs, I guess we kind of know what's going on in Utah. Big fat yikes, if you ask me. It was founded in 1980 by a man named Peter Mork. I think that's how you say his name. Don't quote me. Mork and a friend named Pierre, I don't want to try to say his last name because I will butcher it, wanted to create products that didn't have petroleum or animal products. So they wanted to start a company that did that, which is fantastic. I can get behind that. I think that's pretty cool. But if we take a look at what it is today, I would say that they missed the mark. Quite heavily missed the mark. Big yikes, Mork. Big fat yikes. Mork did pass away in 2008, and his son Stan took over. Stan is not the CEO. The CEO is Jean-David Schwartz. He is a seasoned direct selling executive. Seems like a really nice guy. We love seasoned MLMers. They're the best. Ugh. Anyway. It is in different areas of the world. It is in the United States, obviously. It's also in the UK, Canada, Australia, New Zealand, Poland. And that's it. Thank goodness. I hope they don't spread anywhere else, but that is where it's located as of now. There are many different products in Arbonne, like hundreds. But the product categories are nutrition, skincare, makeup, and healthy living. I'll give a little fun fact about Arbonne before I get into the compensation plan and the income disclosure statement. If you look up the companies who received a letter from the FTC last year, Arbonne is one of them for false health claims about COVID-19. Fun little thing, fun little tidbit there. Good job, Arbonne, way to go. Really living up to the hype. Let's talk about the compensation plan, shall we? I am going to show you what it looks like. I'm using this compensation plan because it goes in depth what it looks like to rank up. That's the important part about the compensation plan, are the different ranks. It's funny because the ranks spell out darn. If you just look at the main ranks, though, it really is just darn, D-A-R-N. Everyone starts as a consultant, except customers. If you want to just be a customer, you have the option to pay $29 a year and be a customer and get discounts. If you want to be an independent consultant, you pay $49 the first year and $29 every year after that, and you get discounts. A little bit more discounts than the preferred customers. The first promotion, that's what they like to call it, is promotion instead of rank, is district manager. You have to have $6,000 run through your business in 2 months or $7,500 run through your business in 3 months. The thing is, in Arbonne, they don't tell you you have to have people on your team to rank. So you don't have to recruit to rank up. But as you look at the ranks, the amount of money that has to go through your business is incredibly large, especially as you go up in rank. So it's practically impossible, in my opinion, to do it without people on your team. I went to district manager with around 3 people on my team. I did it in 2 months with $2,500 my first month and $3,500 my second month, which is the ideal The second plan, Plan B. The ideal is Plan A with $6,000 in your first month, which is rare, but people do that. The second rank, which is area manager, is $24,000 over 2 months or $30,000 over 3 months. You have to have at least $10,000 in 1 month to qualify. So $10,000 1 month and $14,000 in the second month. I qualified at my 3rd month of Arbonne. I went district after my first 2 months in Arbonne, qualified my 3rd month of Arbonne. And I'll tell a little bit more about my story later on, but I did not finish that qualification because someone in my downline quit who was helping me rank up. That's how it goes, by the way, in my opinion. Later on, I did end up getting it. Yay for me. Yay for me. The next rank up is regional vice president. This is the rank where you get the car. It is called the VP Success Award, which we will go over. This is the rank where people say that your life changes, all of your dreams come true, and so on and so forth. You need $96,000 over 2 months or $120,000 over 3 months in sales. You need at least $40,000 in 1 month to qualify. The 4th and last rank is national vice president. This is one person in the company, which you will see. You need $384,000 in 2 months or $480,000 over 3 months. You need a minimum of $160,000 in your first month to qualify. That's the compensation plan. That is a lot of money. So while it doesn't say you have to recruit, like, for example, Beachbody. If you want to become an emerald, you have to have 2 coaches. It doesn't say that. But if you look at the amount of money you have to get, you will have to have a team under you to rank up. Maybe not district manager, maybe you could do district manager. I know someone who's done area, but it's very rare. Let's take a look at the income disclosure statement. I will say this is one of my favorite parts of any deep dive for any company. So as you see, there are 4 ranks. The bottom one I don't count as a rank because that is where everyone starts. This is the annual earnings of Arbonne Independent Consultants in 2020, which is fantastic. So we have the 2021, which has been out for about 2 months. Great. Thank you, Arbonne, for putting it out. There are still companies out there who don't have their 2021 out. It is June 2nd, people. Get your crap together. Jeez. I know 2020 was rough. You gotta do better. Independent consultants are 56% of the company. The column that shows us the most accurate amount of money that one makes is going to be the median annual earnings. The median of an independent consultant is $108 a year. $108 a year? Holy shit. That's painful. That's painful. And I know people are going to use the excuse, but some people just want a bigger discount. Okay, but not everyone. Some people are really trying to build a business. The overwhelming majority, I would say, is trying to build a business. $108, you have to spend at least $49 to start your business. And in my experience, most people buy the 30 Days to Healthy Living, which is Arbonne's most well-known thing to purchase, and that's over $300. There's no profit there. How sad. It's so sad to think about. And district manager is not much better though. That's 33% of the company. So now we're at 89% of the company. District manager median annual earning is $1,769. That's $140 something a month. District managers are people who are trying to rank up most of the time. Golly. It's so sad to think that 89% of the company is making less than $150 a month. And I could bet that if these people at the end of the year added what they purchased compared to what their check said, there wouldn't be profit. People will tell me, I made $3,000 last year. Well, guess what? You spent $4,500, so you're out $1,500. Yikes. It's sad because most people don't even see that either. They just see the money that they're taking in, but they don't realize the money that they're spending, because all they hear is be a product of the products. They hear you have to spend money to make money. They hear you have to invest to make an income. I mean, it's so sad. And another thing to look at when you're looking at income disclosure statements is the average time to the position. Geez, 7 months to be a district manager, 20 months to be an area manager. I mean, that's 8% of the company, by the way, area manager, and they only make a median annual earning of $12,037. $12,037 as an area manager. 8% of the company makes $12,037. Likely area managers are those who are really trying to get to the top of the company. I haven't met, when I was an area manager, I hadn't met an area manager who wasn't trying to get to the top of the company. I just sit and think about how crazy it is that I sat there going, oh my gosh, I'm an area manager, this is amazing, except I probably ended up not profiting that much. Now, because I qualified for regional vice president, I made more than the median income that a normal area manager would have made. I was also an executive area manager. That just means I helped someone else get to area manager under me. But we're at 97% of the company, and it's still under the poverty line. And likely, most of the people that we're talking about, probably 95% of the company, isn't actually profiting. I wish I would have known this was a thing before I started. I wish I would have known an income disclosure statement was a thing. I didn't know anything about it. I was told to get my information from my uplines. That's what we're told. Get your information from your uplines. Ask your uplines. Income disclosure statement is not mentioned, at least in my experience and in my opinion. It wasn't mentioned to me. I didn't mention it to others. And if I would have seen it, I probably wouldn't have mentioned it to others, because look at those numbers, geez. The next is regional vice president, and that is 2% of the company. And their median annual earnings is $58,719. You might be saying, JulieJo, that's not a bad income. Here's the deal. One, it's not a bad income. That's not a bad income. But is it the income that makes you go, that's going to make all my dreams come true? No. And that's what they tell you. They say, get to regional vice president. That is the one that's going to make your dreams come true. That is the one that's going to allow you to blah, 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 blah. That's the one that's going to allow you to retire your husband. They say all of these things, but $58,719. I don't think that's going to make all my dreams come true. And that's 2% of the company. That's the top 2. Crazy. Let's go to national vice president. That is $173,677 a month, and that's 1% of the company. $173,677. 1% of the company is making money off of the 99% that fail. It's really crazy to me that 1% make money off the 99% that fail. So while this is one of my favorite things to look at because it really exposes the companies and it's on their website, they created it, it's also one of the saddest things to look at because people don't know. And when you show them it, they freak out, but not in a good way and not in a way that makes them want to quit. Okay, next I want to get to a part that is really gonna push some people over the edge, and I'm so excited for it. We're gonna talk about the car and the trip. Let's talk about cars and trips, shall we? I don't know if anyone knows much about the Arbonne VIP Success Award, but it is the Mercedes-Benz cash bonus, whatever. So pretty much, this is what happens. In short, you lease a white Mercedes-Benz under your name. You put the down payment on it. Arbonne gives you like a little something to put down with it, but you still pay for the majority of it. You pay for insurance and everything. And if you look at this, it shows you that you have to get a certain amount of money a month in your business for them to give you a certain amount of money a month to put towards it. They don't even pay for the whole thing unless you reach a certain amount. And it depends on how much it costs anyway. So let's say your car cost $650 a month. First off, you would not even get that unless you wouldn't get that fully paid for as a regional vice president unless you reach the $40,000 in central region QV. QV means money, by the way. Crazy, right? Crazy. So when they say Arbonne pays for my car, maybe sometimes, maybe it doesn't. Mostly probably doesn't. That's a little embarrassing for you to say when we actually look at it, you know? Because you're going, so you're telling me that every single month you actually get the bonus that might pay for your car? By the way, who pays for the insurance? Oh, you. You do. Oh, that's a little painful. Who paid for the down payment? Oh, mostly you. Who pays for the gas? Oh, the gas. Oh. That's not looking too good, huh? What you think? I think that's pretty yucky. Free car? Huh? I got a lot to say, but just gonna leave it at that. We could talk about this all day, but in short, the car's not free. And the people who say that are quite yucky, and big fat yikes to them. Big fat yikes. The next thing I'm going to talk about, and I actually earned a trip, are the trips. We're going to talk about the trip that's coming up, and it's the AIT Arbonne Incentive Trip 2021, and it's to the same place that this is the same one I earned last year, and it is the Atlantis trip to the Bahamas. So let's talk about qualifications and rewards for this trip. So you earn a trip for two to Atlantis, Bahamas. We know that there are over 170,000 Arbonne consultants in the United States. 13,331 of them last year registered to participate in the Arbonne Incentive Trip to Atlantis. 1,161 of them earned it. Wow. And it says right after that, the results featured are not typical, and results will vary depending upon individual effort, time, skills, and resources. And resources, huh? Arbonne makes no guarantees regarding income. Typical earnings can be found at earnings.arbonne.com. That's where you can find, I think that's where you can find the income disclosure statement as well. So let's take a little deeper look at what this looks like. What does it take to actually earn the trip? There are level 1 and 2, and level 1 and 2, you pretty much just earn like a gift. But let's go to 3 and 4. This is where the trip comes in. So level 3, we see $1,000 in your business. And this is over about 4 or 5 months, something like that. It's over like 4 or 5 months. And you have to directly promote 4 managers or vice presidents. Recruiting, and they're direct to you, so it can't be anyone in your downline promoting. It has to be you promoting others. So you have to be working and you have to be recruiting. You'll earn a trip for 2 and the 2 gifts. Level 4, I did earn level 4, and you have to have $150,000 run through your business in 4 or 5 months. I can't remember exactly. I think it was December to April. Yeah, about 4 months. And you have to directly promote 5 managers or vice presidents. And you'll earn the trip for 2 to Atlantis, Bahamas, $1,000 cash award in levels 1 and 2. And then the top 10 level 4 achievers will be upgraded to a King Bed Suite or whatever. And then the 4 wide executive national vice presidents always get some extra stuff. So good for them. Good for them. So that's what you have to do. To earn the trip. Let's take a look now at exactly what you get when you earn the trip. So if you take a look at this picture, you get 5 nights of resort accommodations. You get inclusive meal plans at the hotel, breakfast, lunch, and dinner. Alcoholic beverages are not included. I want to add in that my husband and I did go to the Bahamas for our honeymoon in May of 2019, and we did get a lot of alcoholic beverages. They were $10 to $12 an alcoholic beverage, sometimes $14. We spent hundreds of dollars on alcohol. So They are very expensive. You will have to be prepared for that if you ever go to the Bahamas. Yeah, bring extra money. The Wi-Fi, up to 4 devices per guest room. Arbonne group welcome party, training by top Arbonne field leaders. Excuse me? I thought this was a vacation. Why are we training? I would have skipped that training. Why are we training on vacation? I'm telling you, when they say time freedom, they literally don't mean free time. They legitimately mean work from everywhere. I mean, you're literally working on vacation. They legitimately don't expect you to take any time off on this vacation. Let's keep going. Round trip ground transportation from the airport. Great. Access to Aquaventure Water Park, the Dig, and all marine habitats. Cool. All right. So that's some good stuff in there overall. I mean, great stuff. Oh, what's this at the bottom? I see. Please note, consultants are responsible for booking and purchasing their own flights. There it is. There it is. That's it. That's it. How much did my flights cost for my husband and I to go to the Bahamas? $1,200. What do you even say to that? I'll tell you, once I found out that flights weren't included, I went, oh shit. I don't know if we can afford to go. We earned this big trip. And y'all, so they actually gave us our money back, you know, all the money that it actually cost to go. And we got it back about $3,500. That includes the $1,000 bonus. So the trip cost about $2,500 for my husband and I to go. But they gave it to us because of COVID and we weren't able to go. I definitely spent more on products than the trip cost. Yeah. I was like, how are we going to be able to afford that? How can we go and our flights be half the cost of the trip? Anyway, yeah. That doesn't include any of the meals or drinks or anything outside of the hotel. Obviously, alcoholic beverages. That doesn't include, obviously, anything that you're going to buy to wear there. It's, yeah, you're going to be spending a lot of extra money going on this trip. It's crazy. It's crazy what they'll say to you. So nuts. In other words, the trips are not free. To earn them, you likely will spend more than they cost. Just save your money and go on your own trip with your own family, where you don't have to work. One that you don't have to work on. Now that we've talked a lot about Arbonne and the history, products, comp plan, income disclosure statement, car, trip, all that good stuff, I'll tell you a little bit about my story. So I joined Arbonne in March of 2019, right after I got married, January 2019. I did hit district manager within 2 months of joining, and I qualified for area the 3rd month. I mentioned that earlier. I did not finish that 4th month. I did not finish area that 4th month. It took me a while to build it back up, and so November of 2019, I did finish area then, built up my team more, qualified for region sometime mid-2020, and when I hit region, something happened. I thought all my dreams would come true. I thought this big life shift would happen. I feel like there was so much build up to this, and I hit it, and I was just exhausted. That's about it. I was just tired. I was sad. I was happy I hit it finally, but sad that nothing changed. I missed my husband. I worked day and night. I felt yucky all the time. I cold messaged people all the time. I faked friendships to try to get them to join my team. I made excuses that it was so that they could feel their best and be their best. I genuinely did think I was trying to do the right thing, but in reality, I was trying to be the person that makes it to the 1%. I remember telling my team multiple times if every single one of them quit, I would rebuild my business from the bottom up. I was just miserable. It's hard to put it into words because my mental health was to the point where I no longer wanted to be on this earth anymore, and it got to the point where I tried to no longer be here with my family and my friends anymore. And that was more at the end of 2020 when this happened. What happened right before that point was the thing that really took me out of it. I was added to this Facebook group, and it was run by a lot of the leaders in Arbonne, some of them being my leaders, some of them being the leading consultants of the company, and it was about saving our children. And I was like, oh yeah, I'm down for that, cool. Well, it turns out it was shut down by Facebook. It was based on a QAnon conspiracy theory, in my opinion, and from what I saw. I knew that what I was reading, what I was looking at, something was going on weird, but they were my leaders and I had always trusted them, so I didn't think anything would be weird about it. But it was extremely disappointing to know that it was extremely shocking and pretty much heartbreaking that the people that I looked up to the most were deep in a conspiracy theory. Anyway, that's one of the things that drew me out of Arbonne the most. And then pretty soon after that was when I wanted to leave the earth. I tried, and my wonderful husband made sure it didn't happen, and I love him. He is the light of my life, and so are my really wonderful dogs. You'll meet them one day, I promise. But that's a little bit of my story. I didn't want to get too detailed. I am still processing everything that happened and what I went through, because it's, hadn't even been a year since it happened. But there will be a lot more videos. I would love if you could leave your questions, comments. If you have ever been in a multi-level marketing company, what was it? What was your experience? Thank you for watching this. And the first video is not always the best, but we can only go up from here. So if you'll truck along with me, I can assure you there will be great things ahead. Thank you so much for being a part of this with me. And if you want to see more daily things from me, on TikTok is where I really started my anti-MLM journey. I have almost 40,000 friends on there that stay with me every day and follow along. So I would love to see you there. You can see more information below about my social media, about some of the YouTubers that I'm subscribed to and that I know and love, like CCSUAREZ, Roberta Blevins, she has a great podcast, Mims, Isabel Lanter, Savannah Marie. There are so many. Let me know what deep dives you want to see next. Please like, subscribe, and share. Don't forget to comment. I love interacting with people. Again, thanks, and I'll see you next time.